The story starts where we see someone working in a farmhouse with the bees. He is a beekeeper. In the next scene, we see his neighbor old lady Eloise is working in her home. Then she meets Adam, where Adam tells her that he has taken care of the hornet's nest in the farmhouse and gotten rid of it. Eloise thanks Adam for his service and invites him for dinner at night to her house. Adam says thank you for the same and tells her that he will bring her a pot of honey. Then we see Adam is working on his farm and taking care of the bees. Alice is working on her computer in her home. While working, she suddenly gets a virus message on her screen. She becomes scared and tries calling the number on the screen. The worker of the virus company worker answers the phone. We come to know this is a scam center. She tells the worker her problem. The worker transfers the phone to his boss. The boss tells the lady that she is using her older version of her software and she needs to update the software, otherwise all the data will be deleted. Eloise tells him that she doesn't know how to operate a computer, so the person tells her to install a software. After installing the software, the person and his hacking team can see that Eloise has around $2 million in her account. The person tells Eloise that they will refund her the price of the software, which is $500 since this caused her inconvenience. But while refunding the money, the person tells Eloise that he has accidentally transferred $50,000. They request her to refund the money so he doesn't lose his job, and Eloise enters the password to return the money. After entering the password into her account, and they steal all her money. Eloise is seen crying when she comes to know that her money is stolen. At night we see Adam is preparing a jar of honey to take it to Eloise for dinner. When he enters her house, he sees that her door is open and he goes in to check. Then we see a police officer also entering the house behind Adam. The police officer is none other Eloise's own daughter Verona. Both of them come to know that Eloise is dead. Verona captures Adam thinking that he has killed her mother. She calls another officers, and they arrest Adam. Verona goes over her mother's stuff, and she comes to know that her mother has been a victim of online fraud. In the morning, Adam comes back home. Verona says sorry to Adam and tells him what has happened with her mother. Adam cannot take this anymore, and goes to his farmhouse to take out his secret mobile, and calls up his former members. He asks them to find out who committed fraud with Eloise. After some time they tell him that a company named United Group has conducted the fraud. They give Adam the address of the company. In the next scene we can see Adam goes to the office of the company and tries to enter the building, where he's stopped by the guards. Adam fights with the guards and goes into the building. Once inside the building he goes into the office, where he tells everybody that he's going to burn down the office, and they should stop scamming the weak and the old. The employees don't take him seriously, so Adam beats one of the employees and starts pouring gasoline onto their computer and desks. When the boss finds out about this, he comes to stop Adam with his men. Adam easily beats them, tells the boss to get out of the building before he sets it on fire. Next, we see that the building is set on fire and that the building has exploded. The boss calls up someone in Danforth Enterprises. We come to know that the main person is Derek, who is owner of the entire operations. He tells the worker that he cannot believe a single man has destroyed his entire building and operation. He goes to his head of security, Wallace, who is a former CIA agent, and asks him whether he can find out about this person who has destroyed his operation. Wallace tells him that he's now retired, does not want to get involved into this. Derek tells Mickey to hire some men and find out who the person is who burned down the building. Verona and her partner go to the building to investigate the fire, where they come to know that the employees of this building used to do financial fraud. Mickey is able to find Adam at his farmhouse. He asks his men to destroy his beehive for revenge. The men try to kill Adam, but Adam smartly tackles them and kills them off one by one. He then captures Mickey and takes him with him. In the next scene, Verona comes to know about the attack at the farm, and her partner tells person who burned down the building is the same one who killed these men here at the farm. Verona comes to know that it is the beekeeper. Next scene we see Mickey is calling his boss Derek. He tells that the person who burned his building is a beekeeper and he has cut off his fingers. Derek is scared on hearing this. Before Mickey can tell him more, Adam grabs Mickey, ties him up to his car, and throws him off the bridge. He then takes Mickey's phone and tells Derek that he will find him and kill him off. Derek then talks to Wallace and asks him what is a beekeeper. Wallace tells Derek that beekeeper is a private organization which works alone and work on contracts, and you should not mess with the beekeeper. He tells Derek not to mess up things like he has done in his past. He says that he will try to protect Derek and his mother's name and company. Verona and her partner Matt are discussing that there is a bigger organization is at play. She asks Matt about the beekeeper's identity. He tells Verona that he's not able to find much detail about him, like he doesn't exist like a ghost. We see a woman named Jessica has called Wallace, and she tells him to take care of his son Derek, who is very scared of the beekeeper. Wallace tells Jessica that he will take care of the situation. Wallace calls up his former colleague at CIA. Wallace tells her colleague he needs a favor and that a beekeeper is involved and he's already killed 7 people. Wallace asks her to help him and asks her whether she knows whom he works for. She tells that she will look into the matter. Meanwhile, Verona finds Mickey's body and his fingers are cut off. The CIA agent tells Wallace that the beekeeper involved is not active with the organization. Wallace seems happy knowing this. Then we see that all the active beekeepers get a contract from Wallace to kill Adam. Adam is filling petrol in his car, and suddenly one of the beekeepers attacks him. They have a fight and Adam manages to kill her off. After that, Adam takes her finger and leaves. The CIA agent informs Wallace that Adam has killed the beekeeper. Derek asks Wallace whether he can take care of the situation or not. Wallace seems angry on hearing this. In the morning, where Verona and her team arrive at the petrol pump where Adam has killed the beekeeper, there they find a beekeeper manual. Meanwhile, Wallace had decided to hire some mercenaries to take care of Adam. He tells them not to take Adam very lightly. While reading the manual, Verona comes to know that beekeepers protect their hive at any cost and might even kill their queen if the hive is in danger. Meanwhile, Adam enters a secret base of beekeepers while using the finger of the killer from petrol pump and takes out all the data of Derek's company. He also finds the address of his target, 9-Star Enterprise. Verona meets her senior where she informs them that Adam's next target will be 9-Star location. Based on her analysis, she requests for a SWAT team and the senior grants her the team. After that, we see the 9-Star United building and we see FBI SWAT team tries to enter the building, but the private security of the building tells them that they cannot enter the building since they have the government order. The private security tells the manager of the building to get everyone out, but the manager does not listen. Adam goes to the SWAT team and tells them that if they want to get everyone out of the building, they have to smoke them out. The FBI team recognizes Adam and they engage in a fight. Adam easily defeats them and enters the building. The manager calls Derek and tells him about the private guard is not letting him work. Derek tells the security guard that this building is the most profitable building and it is his duty to protect the building against anyone and do his duty. The security guard tells his men to surround the building. We can see it. Adam has already come to the workplace. He tells everyone to leave the building, but the manager tells them that if anyone leave their desk they will be fired. Meanwhile, the security guards also come to the place and they start firing at Adam. Adam manages to kill them off one by one. Meanwhile, Verona and her team arrives at the building. Adam asks manager that who is behind all these operations. The manager tells them that there is no point saying that these are big people and he won't be able to get to them. The manager shows him a picture of Derek. Verona has found Adam and tells him to surrender, but Adam says that he will not rest until Derek is punished and escapes from there. Verona arrests the manager and she also comes to know who is behind the operations. Wallace comes to know that Adam has killed off all his mercenaries. He even tells Derek about it. He then advises Derek that they should close to his mom as they will be protected by her men. Now we come to know that Derek's mom is the President of United States. She tells Derek to come to the beach house and meet her. Verona tells her senior that Derek's mom had won the presidential election based on money from Derek's company, which is into illegal activities. Then we see the beach house. The security is very tight out there. Veronica and her team arrived there. Wallace and Eric are already at the house, and they have hired someone who's already killed a beekeeper. The president arrives in her helicopter. Adam tries to enter the house through a tunnel. He disguises himself as a police officer and enters the house. Derek's mom meets him and asks him what he has done since she has never seen Wallace so scared. Adam also changes his disguise and enters the main house in normal clothes. He searches to find Derek. Meanwhile, the president calls Derek and asks him to meet him in her office. She tells him that the FBI senior has come to see them. The FBI agent asks Derek about his previous companies and tells him that he has found fraud in the companies and their operations. Derek looks scared and tries to avoid the question. Some of the mercenaries' men notice Adam and they tried to catch him. They are able to isolate him in the garden. One of the men is about to kill Adam, but he explodes the car and escapes from there. Derek's mom asking why did he do the fraud. He already had enough money. He tells her that he did it for her presidential run. He says that the money was to fund the election came from these companies, otherwise she wouldn't have won the election. She is quite heartbroken on hearing this. Meanwhile, we see Adam is trying to make his way to Derek's room. He kills off all the people standing in his way. He finally arrives outside the room where Wallace tries to stop him, but he breaks his finger and enters the room. Derek, on seeing Adam, is very scared and shoots the FBI agent and takes his mom good hostage. He tells everyone that he will shoot the president if they don't let him go. Vernon tells Derek to calm down. Adam takes this opportunity and kills of Derek. The president cries on seeing her son dead, and she says that she will come clean to everybody about her son. Adam tries to escape through the window, but Verona tells him to stop and takes aim at him with her gun. Adam looks back at her and she decides to let him go. Adam wears his scuba suit and escapes into the sea.